We got an 06 F250 4x4 diesel. We're gonna do a walk around and test drive. It's got one key. There's no fob on this truck. We tried the program one, but it just didn't come as a factory option. This truck has 138,000 miles. We're gonna do a cold start here. It does have power windows and power locks. Let's see. Starts right up. It looks like the passenger window it's working, but it's just stuck, I think. Yeah, it's trying to move, but it's like something's locking it in place. So it's got 138,000 miles. We'll do a walk around. It sounds very good. Idle's very smooth. This is a one owner truck. It's one of our nicer ones, mechanically solid. Very well kept inside too. It's in good shape. It's got an auxiliary fuel tank as well. That's what that is. So it looks like it's gravity fed. I'll try to point out the cosmetic stuff, which would be like a little ding on the bumper. It's got 17-inch tires. All the tires appear to match. It looks like it has about a 100-gallon transfer tank. Well, actually, it's a 50. And they put it in when it was new, so this is like an original tank they put in it. And it's going to be a gravity-fed tank that goes straight into the fuel tank. It's had some stuff painted at some point because the tailgate's been painted, the handle right here. It's got the 7 and 4 pin connector and that one as well. It's got an exhaust heat shield rattle, which is easy to fix. We'll probably fix that. Usually it's a loose bolt, pretty easy to take care of. You see right here. See how the noise goes away when I step on it? And if I push it up, usually it's a heat shield up around here, which we can get it on a lift and look at that. It didn't start doing that until the cold weather hit, so it's probably just some of the metal contracted. So it's not a rusty truck at all. It just seems like they used it on an off-road or like a moisture environment. You know, maybe like driving it through land or in grass. Maybe, you know, out in the field, that kind of thing. There's no coolant pressure at all. And the good thing about that, it indicates that there's no exhaust gases getting into the coolant system from either the head gasket or the EGR cooler or the oil cooler, which are common issues that have already been addressed, it looks like. See, there's no blow by at all. So mechanically, this thing's very healthy, and it sounds as good as the 6.0 does when it's running perfectly. So you're not gonna have any concerns about the common 6.0 issues with this truck. Like I said, it has power locks, power windows work. I'm pretty sure that passenger window stopped working because of the cold also, because it did work before. I think this weather stripping is like way too tight. I can't even get my fingernails underneath it. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, so that just clips in and out. Now that that's off, you see this window works perfectly. What we're gonna do is we're gonna grease up that weather stripping a little bit on this side. It's just on there, it's just way too tight for some reason. I can barely even get it back in there, it's so tight. Yeah, as you can probably tell, we don't prep these trucks for videos. We show you how they are. And sometimes we gotta figure out what's going on with them at the same time as somebody else would, if it has little issues like this. So it's kind of moving well now. I think when it gets to the top, it just is at, well, it's moving now, so that's good. I think a little bit of just WD-40 will fix that. It's got vinyl floors, as you can see, manual seats. It's the beige cloth interior. There are no engine lights or warning lights to speak of. The AC is blowing very, very cold. See how the heat's doing. It's got a trailer brake controller, cup holders, got a little thing. Manual, all the manuals in there. The heat is blowing warm. We'll see if it gets hot. The four-wheel drive here. It goes into 4 high and it goes into 4 low, and you can feel the transfer case kicking 4 low like it should, and back into 2 high. Now what we'll do is we'll take it out and get it through the gears and drive it. The radio, the buttons are worn, but the radio does work.
A bunch of Astros showed up at 2 Academy stores.
The heater is blowing warm like it should. It should be hot here shortly. It's about 45, 50 degrees this morning. My seatbelt had a little trouble clicking in, but it's in now. I think it also just needs a little bit of grease from the cold weather. We'll spray a little bit of a WD-40 in that. So it's picking up very well. The boost sounds good. You can hear it building PSI like it's supposed to. It's about a mile to the highway, so this is the boring part of the video. It looks like at some point they had some sort of a GPS unit mounted on the dash right here. You can see the dash is still in good shape. The power mirrors work on both sides. This truck runs very well. I'm not hearing any suspension noises or clunks or anything loose. The steering feels tight. There's like very small amount of play, which is common on these, and sometimes that just is an adjustment in the gearing box, which I just did on mine. Mine's an 06. But as far as like suspension parts, they're tight. The acceleration is smooth, the engine is smooth, the downshifts are good. We'll get onto it kind of hard on this on ramp right here. So the heater is blowing, I would say warm, not hot, but that might change once we get it at the temperature here. It's not even halfway to warmed up. The cruise control works. It engages like it should. So for being a basic truck, this has a lot of options, like power options, that a lot of the fleet trucks didn't have. Okay, so right here, I'm gonna get onto it pretty good. We'll get it from 0 to 60 pretty fast. So the boost is great. You want it to be 20 PSI just like that. That's perfect. That means there's no restrictions or leaks in the boost system. I'm going about 80 right now and it's driving very solid. It's tracking straight. It's not even pulling at all. What I'll do is on this exit ramp, I'm gonna hit the brakes pretty hard and we'll watch the steering wheel for rotor or brake pad shake. Here we go. Oh, so I hit the brakes pretty hard. We're not a single bit of rotor vibration or a brake pad or calipers pulling one way or the other. I'll stop again pretty hard right here. We'll go down to 0. Okay. Brakes are great. They feel very good. Well, that's the 06 F250. It's a very, very good truck. I'm not finding any mechanical issues other than the heat's not very hot, but you know, if you're in our climate or in the south, I can't see that it would be a problem for you. Like I said, we'll make sure that window on that side goes up and down, you know, easily. That'll be easy to fix. And I don't hear the heat shield rattle anymore, so I think what we'll do is we'll get up under there, tighten a bolt or two if it needs it, and that'll fix that little issue too. But other than that, this truck's ready to go.